So GM, welcome back to the channel. In this one, we're taking a look at Thena Fi over on the BNB Chain. This is one that I think has some really good potential here, and I've been getting a bit of passive income out of this one. So I wanted to share that with you as it may be of interest to those of you who want to see if they can start up a bit of a passive income portfolio. So in this video, let's go through the tokenomics, how it all works, the various pages on this interface, including the vote round where you can get bribed for your votes. Also the referral screen on here as well, because there's some good benefits to being referred to this. And if we do get quite a bit of uptake from this video, I'll make this a regular series. Also, we have the roadmap to go over and some price action as well. So if you enjoy this one, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So Thena is a Solidly fork. It's actually done a lot better than the original Solidly, which is not doing all that well. And this one has some very innovative devs behind it who are pulling out all the stops here. Recently, they added concentrated liquidity, and these actual pools here, as you can see on the swapping interface, will route through one of the many pools available on here. There's some awesome features, which makes me think, bullish on good builders, things like limit orders, TWAPing, so you can sell time-weighted average prices, i.e. you can scale out of positions and into positions, and they've also got cross-chain swaps enabled as well recently, which is awesome. So if you do a swap on here, it would route it for you, potentially split it up into different pools as well to give you the best execution. Now this one is different from the rest in terms of liquidity. If you want to add liquidity over here, liquidity providers do not get the fees from the swaps. Those go to veTHE holders. So vote escrow THE, that is the main token. When you lock it up, you get veTHE, and those are the guys that get the actual swap fees. So quite an interesting take on things here. The liquidity providers just get emissions. THE, or the Thena token, is a high emissions token, and these emissions get directed to various pools on here. And so the setup for this is quite an interesting one and very innovative. Let's go back to the docs page and just get you acquainted with the token. So THE, or the Thena token here, has two main functions. It's an incentive token, so there's these weekly emissions emitted out to reward and incentivize deep liquidity on the DEX. Plus, it's also used for governance of this protocol. They very much have the ideals of decentralization and want this to be governed by the users. Then we have veTHE, as I mentioned, vote escrowed THE. So this is where you lock up your THE tokens into veTHE, and the longer you lock, up to a 2-year duration, the greater the voting power you receive. So it says if you lock for 6 months, you'd get 0.25 veTHE per THE, but if you lock 1 THE for 2 years, you'll get 1 whole veTHE. So longer locks, the more vote power you get, and this is very interesting for the bribes. Now all the profits on here really do get kicked back into veTHE holders, so that is the main angle of this, and a passive income play. You want to be holding veTHE. This is an NFT position. Again, quite innovative stuff. So if you just check out this diagram here, veTHE holders are pretty much the pinnacle of this ecosystem. So when you come and if you do decide to lock these tokens, like in my mind, if I lock my tokens for 2 years, you have to consider that a purchase. You're not going to wait for this to wind down over a 2-year period, so then eventually you can sell it. You want to just keep max locking and max locking to get the most benefits out of the system. So I treat these kind of things as a purchase if I do this locking of any tokens. Then if you do lock the tokens, as you can see down here, traders will trade, they produce fees, the fees get shoved back to the veTHE holders, and as do the bribes. So other protocols will be incentivizing various amounts of bribes to get more liquidity to their pools. So the protocols bribe the veTHE holders and incentivize them to vote for their pool. So both trading fees and bribes go to veTHE holders, and those who provide the LP, so liquidity providers, get THE emissions. So if you did want to take this a step further and play the full ecosystem, you can just provide liquidity to gain more THE tokens, then you can go ahead and start locking them to earn all those swap fees and to earn even more bribes. So it's all about the flywheel, this one. So further into the documentation here, you can see the veTHE utility. You get protocol revenue access. So all the holders can vote for gauges on a weekly basis, i.e. the liquidity pools they want to emit the tokens to, and 80% of the trading fees, later up to 90% of trading fees, go back to those veTHE voters, and 100% of the bribes for that associated pool do come to veTHE holders as well. So those two income streams, voters receive trading fees, bribes, and a weekly veTHE distribution, a rebase. So if you lock your THE for veTHE, you will get a weekly rebase. This is to stop you from being diluted too much over time, as this is a high emissions protocol. Therefore, you need to keep locking and maybe start to lock up a little bit more for the max duration of 2 years consistently to ensure that your voting rights aren't diluted away. So if you do want to sign up for this one, ensure you do use the referral link down below and we can make this a mini series. If you use a referral link and you do some trading on the DEX itself, you can earn lottery tickets. This was the previous week's lottery, 8 winners of 150 BUSD a piece and only 863 entrants in there. Full terms come to the referral page and you can read all about this, but there's benefits for being the person referring and also being referred. And over to the liquidity pools again. I don't want to go over this too much, as maybe this should be a standalone video. The main thing I do want to talk about here really is the ability to lock your Thena for veTHE. You do that by acquiring some THE from the swapping protocol. You would then create a brand new lock, enter how much of that THE you wish to lock up, maybe 100% of your bag, and then for the maximum duration, I would suggest is a good one to get the max voting rights. And then when you've done that, you will have something that looks a bit like this. Bit of brief history on this one. On this PC, this is not my trading PC, but I did have a ChyDAO position on here. And this wallet therefore received an airdrop of THE, as they are one of the partner protocols here. There's quite a big federation around Thena, ChyDAO, Liquid Driver, Byte Masons, and a load of other teams all do incentivize here on a weekly basis. So this has been around since around January, and I do think it has staying power due to that kind of federation around it. So I did actually get airdropped all these tokens, and I've just been playing with this for quite some time, and it's really intrigued me to the point I want to start making videos on this, and I'm going to increase this position size as well, due to the fact when you come over to the vote section here, this is where all the bribes are. So this is where other third parties are coming and giving you emissions, maybe in their token, to vote for their liquidity pool. Deep liquidity incentivize more trading. You should understand by now exactly how that benefits said team. And us on the receiving end of this, if you've got a veTHE, you are a voter. So you can vote and earn these nice bribes. Now, over the last 5-6 weeks or so, if we go to rewards, you can see some of these teams are throwing around big rewards on here. 19K's worth, 16K's worth, 11K's worth. This has consistently been over $100,000 worth of rewards or bribes over the last 5 or 6 weeks at minimum. Now, each and every week you get an opportunity to vote and thus be bribed on a weekly basis. So you can, in essence, get a paycheck out of this every single week, as an epoch is just 7 days. So it ends up on a Wednesday, should stay up here. Epoch ends in 1 day and 7 hours from now, as I'm filming this on a Tuesday night. And what we can see from this is that if you vote on here, so per 1,000 votes, so that'd be 1,000 veTHE, costs around $200 total, locked for 2 years. The reward estimate is currently around $17. Now this will go down as more people step in and start voting. So typically by the Wednesday evening, there's a big mass vote off at the end and everyone's coming in here to apply their votes to the most lucrative pools. So it is quite fun to be involved with this on a Wednesday night. But these rewards have been diluting down to around $5, $6 per 1,000 votes. So for argument's sake, say it's $5 per 1,000 votes. 1,000 votes costs you $200 locked up, and then you're receiving $5 back in these rewards per week. That is $20 per month. So that is 10% of your initial investment back after just 1 month. And then on top of that, as we mentioned, the swapping fees from these pairs goes to veTHE holders as well. So you'll get the bribes plus the swapping fees for the week on top. 2 things to show you now. The rewards page, I actually missed the vote in the previous week as I was away on vacation, but I did vote once I came home for the next epoch. So in the next epoch, those are my rewards, $13.12. And as you saw, the actual cost of this is only around $400 worth of tokens. So 1 week rewards totaling $13 is a pretty good ROI. So you can see from this, the passive income can roll in. And this is all real yield. You're getting bribed by other protocols to vote for the liquidity pools. Now, if you go to more and analytics, and we go to the pairs tab here, you can see the highest volume trading pairs. So of course it's going to be BNB to stables and BNB to ETH. Those are popular pools. And as you can see, if we just do these 7-day fees, USDT to wrap BNB is the biggest pool in terms of trade size and volume. So if you do vote for this pool, which does have good bribes as well, you're going to get your scoop of the trading fees on this one as well, which can be lucrative additionally to those bribes. So this is something to factor in. You don't want to blindly just vote for any old pool just because you see on the vote page a reward estimate of $123 per 1,000 votes. Two things, that's likely to get diluted down by people voting near the end. And also if this pool is not used and swapped within, you're not going to receive any other rewards. So just a bit of an intro to the UI there. I do also want to talk about the roadmap ahead for this team. As you can see, Q2 cross-chain swaps that has been done. They're going to build out a fiat on-ramp. They're also bringing out the beta for perps as well very soon. And their aim is to have perps for loads of altcoins. So typically you might see just a select handful of altcoins that you can do on-chain perps for. These guys want to bring out a huge basket of them. So this could be a key driver for growth on this exchange. And the fees from perps will go to veTHE holders. So if this does work out, I do think this will become even more lucrative once that does go live. By Q3, Q4, perps DEX should launch in full, Thena debit card, off-ramps, and lending and borrowing access for the THE token as well. So in my mind, this looks kind of bullish. So the price of the THE token right now is just 20 cents. The market cap 4.6 mil. Quite a lot of dilution to come. As we know, the max supply is rather large there due to the emissions. As we saw, this is the flywheel. This is how it works. The token needs to be circulating to incentivize actors within this flywheel. Come down to the price chart here. You can see it kind of bottomed at around 17 cents. It's bounced off 17 cents on a few occasions here and seems to get bought up around 17, 18 cents. Due to the fact you can kind of extrapolate what you can earn on a weekly basis based on the recent bribes that have taken place. So I don't expect this one to trend towards zero all that quickly because this can be a very nice passive income earner from those protocols dishing out those bribes. So a lot of factors to think about with this one, but I do think in terms of passive income and really starting to get a feel for earning a yield from DeFi, I think this is a very good starting point. Do bear in mind you will need to lock the token for 2 full years, essentially making it a purchase at that point in order to maximize those benefits. So yeah, do have a really good think about this one before aping in, and maybe just start off with a small amount of tokens, get used to the bribes, get used to how this works and see if you really like it. Maybe start with just a few $100 and take it from there. Make sure you use the referral link in the pinned comment down below, and if we do get some traction on this one, I'm happy to make this a regular series as I do think it's very interesting and it's away from the likes of ETH mainnet where passive income really is exclusive to those with huge bankrolls. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.